One, two, three, testing. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Friday live date with your girl, Jean Kiriteng Chirenje Kobole. As we start, welcome to my live. This is just 4 minutes before the time, and I'm just testing everything on my side and checking on everyone, and greetings to you all. Hello, how are you? How was your week? Excuse me, I do not take calls when I'm doing my live, neither do I entertain anything else except presenting. I'm just a presenter. My time runs from 9 p.m. My sponsors are at work, so my sponsors will start counting the minutes as soon as it's 9 p.m. So today I'm wearing black. As we have been requested by so many organizations. This is, if you haven't heard, this is with an issue that happened in Africa, in a country called Zimbabwe. We are joining others to condone abuse of children, killing of children for rituals purposes. So this is, I'm wearing black, and my hair is represented by my black African hair, which also is saying no to killing of children, no to abuse of children, or especially killing of children, in specific reference to the issue that happened in Zimbabwe, in an area called Murewa, for a boy that was killed for suspected ritual purposes. The issue is still ongoing, and we are not yet sure. So if you can hear me loud and clear, may you please send me some loves and some likes so that I can know my microphone is working. Hello Tatenda, hello Theo, hello who is watching again, Macmillan Chingande, hello my brother, hello Moroka is watching, and everyone that watches enjoying me this time of the day every Friday. I hope you guys had a great amazing week, just like I did. So this is why I'm coming from, and this is why I'm wearing black today. As much as I love black as a color, I'm wearing black for Tapiwa Makore, who was murdered for ritual purposes, and I'm condoning it as a public figure, as someone that is in the public. I'm also condoning it and saying no to killing of children for ritual purposes. And allow me to take this opportunity to greet all my fans, Mirabel Frami is new, and everyone else that is joining me, all my new fans. Thank you so much, Fazai Sharon Jakata. Hello, my baby, and everyone else that is joining me. Thank you so much, and thank you. Today, we are going to be talking about issues wherever you are. I know in every country you are living, there are foreigners, and today I'm going to be talking about what's causing high domestic abuse amongst foreigners and murder cases recently from all over the world, not to mention only one continent, from Africa, Europe, America, Australia, but mainly Europe and Africa. We have been having high cases of abuse, mainly domestic abuse amongst foreigners that reside in those countries. And today we'll be talking what's happening, why is it happening, what exactly is it happening. Maybe you are someone in your country and you are thinking about relocating. Today you will learn the advantages of living in a foreign land and living at home. So that is the topic for today, and I would like to take this opportunity as exactly 9 o'clock to thank my sponsors. Thank you very much for allowing me to present this topic today and for giving me this opportunity to come and air the views to the public and have an opportunity to do what I love. So thank you so much, my sponsors. Shout out to you and shout out to my family for giving me the opportunity to spend this 1 hour with you guys. And to my fans, you are everything that I am from day one. So I give you all the shout out. I love you very much. May God bless you. Whilst I'm on to my fans, please note, when you send me messages on my page, I don't get those messages. I do have a PA that manages my messages inboxes, that manages my cell phone number that is on public. So if you are one of those people that is sending me messages, my PA will respond to you. If it's something that needs my attention, I'll come and address to you. But all love messages, all what, I do appreciate all the beautiful comments. I do appreciate. If you want me to respond to you, you send on my profile. I will respond to you personally. But if you are sending messages through my inbox, I don't respond to that inbox. Someone manages, just like my page. I have people that manages my page, just like my YouTube. So please just take note of that. If you send me messages to my inbox, someone responds to that. It's not me. If you send messages to my 078 number, someone responds as well to that number. It's not me. I hope we understand each other. Now, welcome to Date Night Friday. Date Night Friday with your girl, Jean Kiditsenchirenje. Today, I'm wearing my black top, which was a birthday present from my sister, I think 3 years ago. And as usual, my neck chain, like I told you, it's a cheap neck chain. You can find it from Mr. Price. And my earrings, I don't know who gave it to me. It's a gift as well. And my glasses from Specsavers. And obvious, as usual, I always have my Lucozade, my favorite drink that gives me energy to talk to you for an hour non-stop. And today I do have Coca-Cola. I'm drinking my favorite, Coca-Cola. Last week I had Sprite, and today I've got Coca-Cola. I'm loving it as well. And with that, I do have grape juice. I do have grape juice, which is sponsored by someone that loves me so much. So this is just a celebration. So I'm having also this grape juice today, grape tizer. Okay. So welcome to my live today. How are you? How was your week? How is your family doing? Today we are talking about life in the diaspora. I've been receiving a lot of messages. I've been dealing, as you know, I also deal with domestic issues that happens to foreign women in South Africa where I'm based. I've been dealing with issues. I've been receiving phone calls. I've been receiving cases and messages and dealing with lawyers and social workers. So this is the issue that when I spoke to my sponsors about this, let me take a sip of my grape juice. When I spoke to my sponsors about this topic, they were very much interested in it because they also understand what's happening. So as a foreigner in South Africa, myself, I've lived in South Africa. I can't tell for private purposes for how long, but I have lived in South Africa. Neither can I disclose my status for my residence in South Africa, but I've lived in South Africa for so many long. Many of you know that I'm mixed. I'm half Tswana, half Zimbabwean, but because my father is Zimbabwean, that makes me Zimbabwean, but my mother is Tswana, that makes me also Tswana, because from Botswana, a child belongs to a mother. So I'm Tswana, I'm Zimbabwean. So because of that, I understand what life is. And because of my experience of traveling all over the world and in Africa, I know the plight and life of foreigners or people that live in foreigners. Many people call them diasporas, but a diaspora is a term for people that move away from their roots, African roots or European roots, to another continent. So majority of people, we don't move from continent to continent, though we do have, where we are also having high cases of abuse of people living in Europe. And we have seen a number, you can check with Facebook and social media and all that, and on big TV networks, high cases of foreigners, couple of foreigners. When I use the term domestic abuse, I'm referring to couples, married couples, or in a relationship, or cohabiting, or living together. These are the people I'm talking about when I mean domestic violence, the violence that is happening between those two. And it's between foreigners, it's becoming extreme. And with the latest case that I have received, which is very sensitive, if you see me crying or being emotional, please forgive me, but I'll try to be strong, not to be emotional, just because I'm a presenter. But issues that I receive daily on a day-to-day case are so heartbreaking, are so emotional. A number of abuse on children, our very own children. What's happening to us as foreigners? What's really happening in the diaspora? Do you know what happens in the diaspora? Before you leave your country of origin. So this is also a highlight to everyone that is in all over the world in your country of origin. Before you think of packing your bags to say, I'm leaving to go and stay in another country for greener pastures, for whatever reason, you need to understand what is life out of your own home. What is life out of your home zone? It's not as easy as it looks. You may see people coming back from abroad with good money or doing good things, but living abroad far away from home is not as easy as it is portrayed back home. I'll give an example. You know, everyone in the world knows the situation in Zimbabwe, and a lot of Zimbabweans have left Zimbabwe for so many reasons. Some are in Botswana, some are here in South Africa, some are in the London, some are in Australia, some are in Canada, some are in Ireland, New Zealand, Switzerland, Turkey, Asia, China. I've seen Zimbabweans all over the world, including Netherlands. Any country you can think of, you will find a Zimbabwe. Why? Because the economic environment of where we are coming from is not nice. Just like Nigerians, just like so many Africans. But today, I'll be mainly talking about issues which I've been dealing with personally, which I've been involved with personally in my country of residence, which is abuse, on domestic abuse with foreigners, abuse of children or foreigners, foreign children abuse, and we will understand what is happening. Try to understand what is really happening to us as foreigners when we leave our homes and go abroad. So I'll start by saying this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again, once again, for watching this, because this is very informative. And make sure every foreigner that you know have an opportunity to watch this video, because it's very important you understand as I go on with my video. First of all, I'm going to tell you, so there is this misconception that it's greener outside home. Misconception. I call it a misconception. And this misconception is what leads everyone to think of, I need to leave my country of residence. Sometimes the life you are living, as much as it is bad, it's better than when you come to the diaspora. When you come to a foreign land. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be open with you as usual on this platform. I don't beat behind the bush. I go straight and I would say it as it is. Life in a foreign land is difficult. It's not easy. And especially if you are thinking of moving to a foreign land now. Don't expect to live a good life. Don't expect to immediately achieve what the people that are already there or that moved 20 years or 30 years ago to achieve. You will never be on the same level with the people that have got 30 years living in foreign land. First point number one I'm going to highlight to you is when you leave your country of residence. For example, I'm going to look into Africa and then I'll go to the UK. For example, when you leave Zimbabwe coming to South Africa, you cross the border, you get days on your passport. Days on your passport, which tells you the number of days which you must be in South Africa. When those days end, you must exit the South Africa. That's the legality of it, unfortunately. But majority of people, they come to South Africa thinking you pack your bag, you come to South Africa, you get a job, and you are working, and you are making money, you are building mansions back home, you are buying cars, you are driving cars. But the reality of it is, it's not like that. I will tell you, if you are wherever you are in Africa, South Africa on its own as a country has got its own challenges. And because it's one of the best countries in Africa, it has got good infrastructure, it has got good things which we do not have. It's much developed compared to all other African countries in our continent. Many people think South Africa is our center of attraction. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are still out of South Africa and you don't know life in South Africa, it's not that easy. Citizens of South Africa are suffering. There is high rate of unemployment right now in South Africa. The government of South Africa, for example, is struggling to reduce the rate of unemployment for its own citizens. First. Secondly, I would like you to note that South Africa is now considering foreigners mainly for critical skills. So before you leave your country of residence and thinking to come to Africa or South Africa, you must have what they call critical skills. These critical skills are the skills that are unique, and the majority of South Africans or few South Africans have. Only in those skills will you have an opportunity to have a job. Otherwise, normal jobs that does not need critical skills, there are no jobs like that. So if you do not have a critical skill in your own country, when I talk of critical skills, I'm talking of engineering, 1, I'm talking of medicine, 2, I'm talking of risk management, 3, I'm talking of scientist, 4, I'm talking of what do you call them, actuaries. Those are critical skills, ladies and gentlemen. Few of the critical skills. So before you think of that, look for the country you want to go to. Just like Australia, UK, there are opportunities to go to the UK. Only if you have got the critical skills that they want. There are opportunities to come to South Africa. If you have got critical skills they want, you actually get your visa whilst you're still in your country before you come to South Africa. When I relocated to South Africa, opportunities were still high because it was back then. And because I also had critical skills then, it was easy for me to get employment and be in a formal employment and be legal in South Africa. But majority of people, going back to my topic, is majority of people come to South Africa with certain skills which are not critical. When you come to South Africa with certain skills or any foreign land with skills which are not critical, you will struggle to get employment, number 1. Number 2, do not expect to get high salaries just because you are a foreigner and you have got skills. Do not expect to get high salaries. And where am I going? I'm going to my topic. What is causing high domestic abuse and murderers? Ladies and gentlemen, majority of high domestic abuse is caused by stress. Number 1. If you want to write, I'll tell you, it's caused by stress, it's caused by frustrations. Frustrations is one of the things, and stress and depression is one of the things that is affecting couples living in the diaspora. For example, majority of the people, they don't come together. So the other part follows the other. Or you meet in the diaspora, either way. The major cause of murder cases amongst foreigners, abuse, domestic violence amongst foreigners is because of stress and frustrations. Why? Many people do not have critical skills or even mere qualifications, and they do ordinary jobs. When you do ordinary jobs, the cost of living is very high. In South Africa, I'm telling you, Cape Town is one of the most expensive cities to live in the world. I'll highlight this. Cape Town is one of the most expensive cities to live in the world. It's completely different than Joburg. It's completely different than Durban. It's completely different than Port Elizabeth. It's completely different than any other towns or cities in South Africa. So if you come to Cape Town, remember, your cost of living is gonna be very, very high, which means from your rental, food, water, electricity, these are bills which you face every month. And with a mere salary, you rarely manage to survive. Even as a couple, you rarely manage to survive. Number 2, unemployment. Unemployment rate in foreign countries is very high, especially here in South Africa. It's very high. I will never lie. So many people, they always tell me, Jimmy, tell me, how is it life in South Africa? You may see people that are doing well, but remember, people that are doing well depends with the lifestyle, with 1, your skills, 2, when did you come, 3, your legality. If you do have permanent residence or a South African ID, which you acquire after getting your permanent residence, you are good to go because you are a resident of South Africa. You can apply for bond. You can buy a house on credit if you do qualify for that. Secondly, if you do have critical skills, you earn much better. So, and your critical skills visa will also allow you to qualify to apply for permanent residence much quicker compared to someone who has a refugee permit, compared to someone who does not have the legal rights to stay in the country. So, majority of people in the diaspora, which is in other continents or in Africa, do not have legal rights to stay in those countries. Even though they are staying, even though I'm a foreigner, I know majority of our people do not have the legal rights to stay, live, and work in those countries. And this is one of the things that is causing major frustrations, major stress, major depressions, because couples are failing to meet their own needs first here in South Africa or wherever they are living. Secondly, it's overworking, mainly in Europe. Couples are overworking. Sometimes I hear my friends say they do not have time to rest. Why? Because of the cost of living. They are in Europe, but for like I was saying in South Africa, Europe have got gas, they've got bills, they've got rent, they've got food, they've got everything, things that needs to be paid, insurance for the cars, licenses and everything that needs to be paid monthly. So the cost of living is high, even though they can easily get jobs in Europe compared to here, but still they also have got expenses. And remember, the moment you leave your home country and go abroad, your own family have got high expectations of you. So the other thing that gives us stress is the families back home. Families back home have got expectations of you. They want you to do what other children are doing that are living outside the country. They also want you to buy mansions. They also want you to buy cars for your family. They also want you to upgrade them. They also want you to feed them. As we all know, for example, people in Zimbabwe, they need money for food. They need money for everything. They need money for data to communicate with you. They need money for everything. So people in the diaspora are mainly filled with stress. They live stress life. And the other thing is people back home does not know is in life outside the country, we do not have social life. When they see people taking pictures, posting pictures on parties and what, they think that thing happens like every weekend. It's not like that. It's not like that. Life in the diaspora, there is no social life. Social gatherings are done maybe for a party, which is once in a blue moon, or a barbecue or a bright thing, which is once in a blue moon. 3/4 of the time, people are in their homes or at work, working. There is no social life in the diaspora compared to when you are in your home country. I remember when I was in Zimbabwe, we used to have a lot of social time, going out, movies, going to Bryce, Merrick and stuff. But when you come to South Africa or when you go to a foreign land, there is nothing like that. It's work, work, work. And that also brings frustrations and stress. And the other thing is just being far away from your family. It's frustrating on its own. It is very, very frustrating, especially if you come when you are mature or old. It's different for some of us who started living in the diaspora at a younger age and grew up in the diaspora. If you come when you are mature, you really face very difficult challenges adapting to the lifestyle. So these are some of the things that is causing domestic abuse and murderers. I'll give you an example. I can say now it's about a month and some weeks or some days. There is a couple. I'm not going to mention names because for privacy and for sensitivity. There is a couple from Zimbabwe. They've been living together in South Africa, and for some reasons, and because of the life and what is seen, and as you all know, like for people from Zimbabwe understands, there is a bad, what can I say, bad notion about the people that live in Cape Town. It seems like there's a lot of high prostitution, high, infidelity rates in Cape Town. There are so many things associated with Cape Town, which are spread through social media. Why? Through people women beating other women that are cheating with their wives, husbands beating men that are cheating with their wives, things like that. It has made Cape Town as the center of attraction for Zimbabweans, and it makes it look like it's a place where infidelity, prostitution, and all those things happen. But in reality, it's not like that. It's not like that. There is no prostitution or the way things are portrayed. I would like to clarify that. The way it is portrayed on social media is completely different from the reality of the people that are living in Cape Town as foreigners, especially Zimbabweans. If one apple is bad, it does not mean that all apples are bad. I'll go to my story. So this couple has been living together. I don't know how they met or their relationship set up, but apparently the husband was into Uber, and you know what Uber does, and the wife was a stay-at-home wife, and the husband, according to the other side which told me of the family, they said the wife, according to the neighbors, the wife was being abused. She was not allowed to socialize. She was not allowed to communicate with others. She was always locked inside the house until this woman decided to run away to a sister in a neighboring town. She went to a sister in a neighboring suburb, and her sister accepted her and welcomed her with the child. Whilst she was at her sister's place, the husband asked her to come and collect some stuff for the child. And she lied to the sister like, I'm going to drop some CV so that I can look for work. When she went out, she did not come back. This was after 3 days after she ran away from the husband. And when the sister tried to call her, which was the last time the sister spoke to her, according to the sister when she told me, she said she was on her way home. That was after 5 p.m. And the sister was worried because it was getting late. And until it was already very late, and her number wasn't reachable. And after 2 days of looking for her, they went to the police, and obviously the police in South Africa will tell you to go look for mortuaries. If someone has been missing, they'll tell you go to the nearby mortuaries and look and find your relative, because we haven't received the name that you're talking about. And also for the mere fact that some of the foreigners living in South Africa don't have their IDs. And for your own information, ladies and gentlemen, I'll cut this story short. The lady went out to meet the father of a child, which was the husband, from Zimbabwe. They are both from Zimbabwe. And the husband killed her. The husband murdered her on a road and left a dead body, like they ripped her body apart and opened her heart and stomach and intestines. Everything was out. And in the morning, or I don't know whoever found the body, they reported to the police and forensics. They came and collected the body. They just put it in a mortuary because there was no documentation to confirm who she was or where she was. The husband was also found in a major road, hanged on a tree. So after killing the wife, he went himself and hanged himself. I'm talking about Zimbabwean people. So before the husband did that, he took his son and he dropped the son at the brother's house. So, whom do you ask in that case? How do you solve such a case? It's complicated. But these are two Zimbabweans we have lost in a matter of hours. The husband killed the wife. And it's not the only incidents. People that live all over the world knows how Zimbabweans are killing each other. Not only Zimbabweans, even other nationalities, but foreigners killing each other. For whatever reason it is. Psychological, mental, but still, either way, women are being killed. And the story I'm telling you about is a real story. It does not even have a month and 2 weeks. I was asked, the family wanted me to do a documentary about this, and my sponsors they are still deciding on what to do about this story. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what led me to make you talk about this. When you come to foreign land, it has got its own challenges. The major challenges why women are facing domestic abuse is when you are living in foreign land, many people rent 1-bedroom apartments, 2-bedroom apartments. Some of the foreigners that come back home with big money and good things live in shacks. If you don't know shacks, I don't know how to describe it, but back home, that's the place where we keep chickens. If you're in Zimbabwe, you understand what I'm talking about. We build shacks for chickens, not for human beings to stay. So many of us, when we come to the diaspora, we find ourselves living in shacks. We find ourselves living in poor standards compared to what we left home. So do not expect that when you come here, you're going to live in a mansion and all blah and all that you see on movies, people posting pictures. I'm telling you, majority of people, they dress up and go to nice places just to take pictures, to look nice on social media. Not that life is nice in the diaspora. Not that life is bad in the diaspora. But not all that glitters is gold. please mark my words, not everything that glitters is gold in the diaspora. Life in the diaspora is very tough. Now, I will move on talking and highlighting these points. Now we move on. There are children that are being born in the diaspora, legally, or those children born without also legal papers to reside in this country. Those children, they are the ones that are also getting abused. Whether they are legal, illegal, children or foreigners are being abused. Why? 3/4 of the time, maybe the mother and the father are waiters. They do night shifts. These children are left with strangers, sometimes with even roommates. And those roommates are abusing the children. Sometimes people in the diaspora, they get a big house. You get a big house so that you get tenants to put in there. Those tenants can abuse your own children. These are some of the cases we are dealing with. Children are being abused by the tenants that are staying with the parents. Children are also being abused by their own biological parents for the same reasons. It's mental issues, psychological, sociological issues, pathetic, but what I'm still trying to understand or figure or research more on is, why are these issues coming out now that we're in foreign lands? When we were back home, these issues were not happening. When we were back home, I'd never heard of it's a few cases. When we were back home, of a husband ripping his wife's heart apart, opening their heart and taking intestines out. What have we become as foreigners abroad? Killing each other. For what? For what? If the relationship is not working, and that's the other thing that is happening in the diaspora, ladies and gentlemen, especially girls and boys and girls, I'll highlight this again. When you meet a guy in foreign land, you don't know, even if you know that person from back home, you don't know the mental status of that person because you haven't lived with that person for so long. So many people knew their partners until they started being abused. Then they realize, oh, I'm living with a psychopath. But that psychopath can kill you. Some are it's because to substance abuse. I'll give you one example. Alcohol is very cheap in South Africa. 100 rands, you can drink and get drunk and get wasted. 200 rands, you get wasted even more. Some foreigners are getting into drugs, things that they never tried home. Why? Stress issues. And the other major thing, especially with our foreign men, is our foreign men are being undermined at their workplaces, and they bring that stress home. And they start putting that stress on their wives, beating their wives, abusing their wives. Why? Because at work, they're being treated as nothing. They are worthless at work. So when they come home, they are abusive. They are violent. But we also, as foreign women, we need to understand how life in the diaspora is. But the moment it becomes physical, there are measures, which is what I want to highlight to you, ladies. There are things you can do to protect yourself. Ladies, I don't want to lie to you. If someone can beat you, that person can kill you. I'll say it again. If he can beat you, one day he can kill you. There is nothing that I'm sorry it was love, or I'm sorry I was drunk. If a person cannot hold on to his fist, if a person cannot manage his anger, that's a problem. You cannot fix it. Neither can your family fix it. Neither can pastor fix it. It needs a therapist to fix it. But do we have money to go to private therapist as an illegal, for example? You don't have the rights to be in South Africa, which means you do not have rights to see a government psychologist or a therapist, which means you need money to go see a therapist. Do you have the money? We don't have. Are you legal? You are not legal. So this is what our families are facing. And for people home, there's this mentality that women, when you take your women in South Africa, they want to change. They want to act as if they've got more rights. No, it does not mean that. When women come to South Africa, they learn and they adjust to the rights of the women in South Africa, just like the men. You learn to know your rights compared when you are back home, because the abuse is not that much. And remember, when you are in your own country, if your husband abuse you, it's easier for you to run away to your family. But here in a foreign land, there is nowhere you can run away to, because majority of the people around you, even if you've got family, they live in one rooms. Who's gonna help you? Where are you going to stay even if you've got kids? If your husband beats you, if you say, I'm going to my brother's house, maybe your brother doesn't even have 2 rooms. He's got 1 room, and him and his wife have got children as well. Maybe it's your sister. She's also married with her husband. So where do you go? You end up staying with that abusive partner. What is the end result? You are killed. Your partner kills you. What happens next? We get the information, we report it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are being physically abused in your relationship, it's not healthy. Or if you are abusing your wife, or you find yourself beating your wife, ladies and gentlemen, or gents, if you find yourself being physically abusive to your wife, leave her. Because the end result, one day, the same thing that makes you beat her is the same thing that's going to make you kill her. Ladies, if he is beating you, whether you are in Europe, whether you are earning so much pounds, whether you have got critical skills, whether you have got legal rights or what, if you are living with an abusive partner, he can kill you. Please understand this. Right now, my stomach is sore. I feel so sore when I talk about this, because these are issues. Sometimes you don't understand what I go through. I do not sleep. I do not sleep. With women calling me for rescue, for help. What do I do? So ladies, I know many don't know their rights in South Africa. Even if you are illegal in South Africa, if your husband brought you to South Africa, he has papers and you do not have papers. This is for any foreign women. Whether you're from Angola, whether you're from Nigeria, whether you're in UK, whether you're in Europe, wherever you are. Even if you do not have legal rights to be in that country, if your partner is abusing you, go to the nearest police station. Forget about being deported back home. Because it's either you're going to be deported alive, or you are going to go back to your country in a coffin. Do not tolerate physical abuse. There is no light beating, ladies and gentlemen. Even for parents, there is no light beating. Abuse is abuse. Like I say, if the police and social workers always say, if he can beat you, he can kill you. So do not tolerate. I understand people are saying accommodation is a real issue in foreign land. I know. But here I'm coming to let you know that in South Africa, I work with ladies. I work with so many women that are being abused. I've rescued a lot of Zimbabwean women. I've rescued a lot of Congolese women. I've rescued a lot of foreign women in South Africa without even papers, without even them being deported. In South Africa or any country, there are places called safe homes. Safe homes are state places designed for women and children that are being abused. Forget about your children going to school. The state will take care of that. Forget about yourself being legal or illegal. What is important is for you to run away with your life. Live whilst you are still alive. I don't want to see you or read about you or cases coming to me of how can you handle with this? He or she was murdered. I've spoken to people that have given advice and went back to the same person that abused them, and the end result wasn't good. Though I do not blame them. When you have been abused, if you don't understand abuse or domestic abuse, it's easier for you to blame. But if you have been through it, or if you understand it, or if you work with it or deal with it, you understand that it's difficult to leave the person that abuses you, because abusive partners are very manipulative. They will manipulate you until you feel you are the one that is doing the wrong thing in the relationship. They are emotionally abusive and physically they are all abusive. So ladies and gentlemen, please, I'm begging you with the grace of God, if you see you can't handle, if you see you're frustrated at your workplace, You rather go back home. You can go home and do farming. There are a lot of things you can do back home than living in a foreign land where you are being abused. It's either by your employees or whatever. There is nothing like a failure. Going back home without killing someone is better than living in South Africa in prison, or going back home running away from crime that you have committed in South Africa, or running away or living nowhere because you're a criminal. You are scared to face justice. So ladies and gents, both sides, if you know you are being abused or you are living with an abuser, please, for the sake of your children, especially couples, separate. If you separate, make sure you don't see each other. If you see that there's hostility, or if you are called back, this is the mistake which I want to highlight to women. Women, if your man has been abusing you and you run away from that person, if that person calls you for reconciliation, if you go back, he's gonna kill you. This is the same case with the same lady I'm talking about. She just went to collect food or money that she was promised. Did she come back? She did not. She was found ripped out, dead. And now the child lost both parents. What did the husband do? He committed suicide. Is there justice for that? No justice. You just died. The loss is on your family. The murderer killed himself, but your family lost more. You didn't want to die, but he will kill you because he's an abusive person. You cannot fix a messed up person upstairs. Ladies, you are dying. We are dying. The abuse is not only to foreigners. Here in South Africa, you know, gender-based abuse is on the high. It's on the rise. Whether it's an evil spirit circulating in the area. Ladies and gents, let's learn to control ourselves. Let's learn to let go. Men, if a woman leaves you, you don't need to kill the mother of your child or the mother of your children. Learn to let go. Just like ladies, if your husband leaves you for another woman, you don't need to kill your husband. He is still the father of your child or your children. They need their father. Do not kill them. I know there is organized crime. I know some women feel like I've got connections. I can get rid of you. My dear, what happened to Haman in the word of God? Haman prepared a hanging tree to have someone killed. What happened to it? He is the one that was killed with that hanging tree. So ladies and gents, remember the word of God also says, if you play with a knife, you will die with a knife. I don't understand what is so difficult about letting go. Ladies, if a man leaves you for another woman, it means he does not want you. Full stop. There is no witchcraft, ladies and gentlemen. If a man doesn't want you, he will leave you. Whether witchcraft or whatever you believe in, I don't believe in that. I believe in my dignity. Know your self-worth. You don't need to fight. You don't need to be seen on social media beating another woman for a man. It's embarrassing. Let go and let God fight for you. Let go. If you can't survive on your own, go back home. Go back home. Do something. Scrub the toilets. Do something. Go for maintenance if he doesn't want to look after the children. Do something. South Africa or other all developed nations, even Zimbabwe itself, you can claim maintenance in Zimbabwe for someone who is living in South Africa. You can claim maintenance in Zimbabwe for someone who is living in America. You can claim maintenance in Zimbabwe for someone who is living in Australia. You can claim maintenance in Zimbabwe for someone living anywhere in the world. As long as you've got his ID, you can claim maintenance for that person. Instead of killing him. You don't need to kill the mother or father of your children just because he left you for someone else. No, people. No, my African people. We are better than that. We are better than that. There is more to life. Many people miss their blessings because they continue fighting for the wrong things. You need to know when to let go. You need to know when to hold on. You need to know when to let go. If he leaves you, maintain your dignity, woman. Let go. I've never seen a grave of someone that died without a woman or without a man. I haven't seen it or heard about it. You will find a partner that is suitable for you, or the partner will find you. You do not need to kill anyone. Neither do you need to stay with an abusive partner. Leave. If it means going back home, go back home and start afresh. If it means going to farm, don't worry about people. Majority of people are dying. If I go back home, what will people say? If I leave my husband, what will people say? They'll say I had a failed marriage. So what? So what? So what? It's not a case if a marriage fails. It's not a case if you leave your husband for abuse. It's not a sin. God did not design you to be someone's punching bag. God did not design you to be a puncher to someone. That's not the purpose you're on earth. You're on earth to do good and to praise the name of the Lord and to glorify the name of the Lord. Not to be on your knees crying for someone's child. Not to be on your knees shouting someone's name. That's not why you're living here on earth. Many people, you are depressed. Many people, you are fighting with women. That's a sign of stress and depression. Why do you need to beat another woman? Why do you need to burn your husband with fat? You don't need that. It's unnecessary, women. I know it hurts being cheated. You can say, Ginny, you don't know how it is. I know what it is. For some of us who have been legally married, I know what it is. Being cheated on. I know what it is. But you don't die. There is more to life. There is more to life. So ladies and gents, the number of abuse, domestic abuse and murderers is on the increase. It's on the increase due to the factors I have explained to you. Restrain yourself, even as a woman. If you see he's angry, walk away. Even as a man, if you see he's angry, walk away. Move away from that. Move away from the situation. If you see you're losing it, walk away from that woman. Even if she claps you, you lose nothing. Excuse me. If you don't clap back, you lose nothing. Even if she punches you, as a man, you have more dignity if you walk away from a woman that punches you. I'm moving to children. Ladies and gentlemen, our children, this topic is broader. I can spend 1 month talking about this issue of abuse among us foreigners. I'm not involving other nationalities. I'm not involving other people. I'm involving ourselves as foreigners and people surrounding you. Your work stress, your stress with your friends, your issues with money has got nothing to do with your relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, I always teach it's important to understand each other as a couple. It's important to communicate freely, whether it's about money, whether it's about bedroom issues, whatever issues you have. There is a way to communicate. When you speak nicely to each other as a couple, no matter whatever challenge you might face, you always come on top because you communicate freely. If it's insecurity, before you go beat out someone that your husband is cheating with, find out why your husband is cheating on you. If he can't talk to you, leave him. My sister, you are not stuck on that man. You can't kill him because he's sleeping with someone. You can't kill a woman because she slept with someone. Walk away. Walk away. I've told you, if you watched my previous videos, cheating did not start now. Women cheating did not start now. Neither did men's cheating start now in our generation. It started long back. If you can't stand it, walk away. You walk away with your dignity. In Shona, we say ngozi. There is a bad spirit that follows you if you murder someone. Why would you want your family to have that? Let go. And God will bless you. And much of the time when you let God vindicate you, when you let God fight for you, you always come out stronger. God always vindicates his own. If your hands are clean and you're innocent, God will protect you. But you need to do something for yourself. Take care of yourself. If it's dangerous, contact me. Contact someone. Go to the nearest police station. Tell them I need a place to stay. I see a lot of people are saying, Jenny, accommodation issues. Yes, I know. That's the major problem in the diaspora. Couples end up killing each other because they can't separate because of accommodation issues. But ladies and gentlemen, there is no country in the world, including Zimbabwe, where there is no safe house. Safe houses are meant for domestic couples. Even as a man, if your home is unbearable to stay, if the woman is violent, not only are women abused, even men are abused. If you are abused by a woman, you go to the police, ask the police for a safe home for you. You can stay in that safe home. That woman will not know about that home. You can work from there. You can get a restraining order so that that person can stay away from you. Ladies and gentlemen, you can get a restraining order. Now I'm moving to children. Because this issue about couples, at the end of the day, it's all about you. They say you can take the donkey to the river to drink water, but you can't force the donkey to drink water. The donkey will refuse to drink water. So I can talk about this. I can be as loud. I can be as soft. But if you don't want to listen to me, you won't listen to me. But ladies and gentlemen, you will die if you don't walk away from a violent relationship. You will end up in jail if you kill someone. You will ruin your life forever. You will carry that person's spirit forever. You will live with guilty conscience forever. You will be a murderer forever. Even your own children will call you a murderer forever. What have you done? Nothing. Nothing. No matter how clever or organized you think you are, every crime is always come out, and the perpetrators are always caught. So ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to domestic violence, you can never run away from it. Either way, you'll be caught unless you commit suicide. Anyway, that will be the end of you. But still, hell will be waiting for you, and God will be waiting for you. So ladies and gentlemen, as usual, your girl is moving. I'm left with 15 minutes to talk about child abuse. Ladies and gentlemen, our children of foreigners in foreign lands are being abused. The rate is going high. Ladies, our children are being abused with our partners, our own husbands. Our children are being abused with our maids, the people we employ to take care of our children. Our children are being abused by caregivers at school. Our children are being abused by the people that transport them to and from work, from school. So, ladies and gentlemen, both of us have got a responsibility. When God gives you children, He gives you the responsibility to take care of those children. Ladies, it's our responsibility. As much as we have helpers, spend quality time, take your children and listen to them. Even a day after a stressful day at work, listen to your children. Ladies, let's bath our children. Learn to have girl talk with our children. Learn to have a boy talk with our boys. Boys are being abused, even by our own helpers. Girls are being abused, even by our own helpers, even by our own partners. I cannot emphasize this enough. Ladies, our children are being raped in our care, and they will never open up because the person that abused them will be threatening them. As children, they'll keep quiet. When your child comes back from school, from creche, even at home, ladies, children are being raped in their own homes. The place which is supposed to be their safe home, they are being abused. Ladies, if your husband abused your child, report him to the police, because the next thing, he's gonna kill you. I'll say it again. If your husband abuse your children sexually, whatever, report him to the police. Foreign people, stop protecting your partners. An abuser is not someone that you can protect. That person can turn around and kill you. Watch our girls. Teach your young girls about their flowers. Teach them nobody should touch their flowers. Teach your boys nobody should touch their nunu. Nobody. No one. Even uncle. Even auntie. Even babies, ladies and gentlemen. If you leave your baby girl, even when you go to shifts with your husband, check your girl. Check your daughter. Even your sons, check their bums. Check their back. The world is wicked. People are wicked. And the world is becoming wickeder. Unfortunately, we are living in the end days. Evil is on the rise, but good will prevail. But it's our responsibility as parents and guardians of children to check them, watch them, protect them. If they are abused, the earlier you take your child for counseling and therapy, the earlier, the better. You help your child. If it has already happened, do whatever it takes that your child gets help and you also get help. You understand? So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, I'll leave the responsibility for children to both men and women. Men, your daughters are not wives. Men, girls, babies, girls are not women. They are babies. They are children. They are prostitutes for any price that you can go to. Not children, not babies. That's why you see the law is so harsh if you are caught. The law is so harsh if you are caught. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very emotional topic, as is these issues, I deal with them day by day. I deal with these issues. It's painful what's happening in the world. It's not a story time. It's not a laughing matter. It's not a funny matter. It's a sensitive issue. And it's a scary issue. Don't even think because you've got boys, your boys are safe. Don't even trust your helper. What am I saying? Protect your children. They are not safe with anyone else. Fathers are abusing their daughters. Mothers are abusing their boys. So both parents, it's your responsibility to make sure your children are well taken care of and they are safe. Each of the partners, you can take care of your children. Talk to your kids. Teach them the importance of their privacy. Teach them about their private parts. Even auntie cannot touch it. Nobody should touch them. Teach them about sexual harassment. I know the schools in South Africa where I'm based are doing their best to teach children, especially girls and boys. From creche, they are taught about sexual abuse. I'm glad, thanks to the government of South Africa. But wherever you are, and last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, let's watch our children. Children are abusing each other sexually. Brothers and sisters are having intimacy. Ladies and gentlemen, I know the issue of accommodation is a problem, but I feel if you can't have proper accommodation for your children, especially opposite sex, or especially if they are old and you're still sleeping with them in the same room, it's better you send them to boarding schools or to someone that you trust than making them sleep together in the same room. We are having a high rise of siblings being intimacy. Whether it's evil again in the world, ladies and gents, don't trust again your kids with each other. From 5 years, whatever age, watch your kids. Even when they play, watch your kids. Also watch their tablets. I know there's technology on the rise. This technology is also the one that is making our kids more exposed. That's the right word I want to use. Our children are more exposed sexually compared to us. The cartoons themselves are not safe. Yesterday, I found out one of the cartoons my children was watching. It was a normal cartoon. I'm not going to mention names. But it had sensitive, like touch issues in it. And I was very shocked and very angry because my son watched that cartoon. And I thought it's a cartoon. So even restricted content, ladies and gentlemen, is not safe. So it's up to you and me. But for me, I feel our children are safe if we put them back to our traditional era and restrict more technology and encourage more play than technology. Our children are so fast on technology compared to us. I don't know for generations to come how things will be. But for now, I'll end here. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure talking to you as usual. It was a pleasure addressing these issues to you. I feel when I talk to you, you spread the message. Share this video. Let us each other be aware. Let's give warnings. Let's look out for our children. Above all, let's pray for protection for our children. Even with the transporters, even with caregivers, even with anyone, our children are not safe. It's our responsibility. They are not safe themselves as siblings. Watch them. Don't just say they are brother and sister, they are okay. No. You don't know what happens when you leave them alone, especially the opposite sex. So, ladies and gentlemen, your son can abuse your daughter, and it will break you and destroy you together as a family. So before it happens, nip it. Stop it. If you found out your son is doing it, report him. Why it's important to report him? 1, so that he gets therapy. 2, so that it's stopped whilst it's too early. Because if he starts raping his sister, he's gonna be a rapist forever. You don't wanna be the mother of the rapist. So the earlier we nip it, the better. Don't say he's my son, I'm gonna protect him. It happened between my sons. It's a sensitive topic. I thank God I managed to finish this topic without shedding tears or crying because of what I face and the stories that I'm seeing. But ladies and gentlemen, don't protect, even if it's your daughter abusing your younger son. Don't protect your daughter by saying, I'm going to keep it. No. Take your daughter to the police and report the matter to the police. There is juvenile prison for young children. The earlier he learns that doing that is wrong, the better he learns. Even in prison for kids, he will still go to school and he might be better it might be better for his future compared if you continue keeping or looking after him because you're not educated enough to deal with him. You might end up being angry and abuse your child for abusing the child, and the abuse continue in the home. So when you find out your children are abusing each other sexually, report them to the police. Let the educated people deal with the children. You are not qualified, neither am I, to deal with such issues. But there are people that are qualified to deal with that issues. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you on this note. Let's look out. The days are bad. The days are evil. We are living in the end days. Let us be prayerful as couples. Whatever religion you are, whatever you believe in, pray for protection of your children. Pray for protection of your lives. Pray for protection of yourselves. Learn to control. Pray for self-restrainment. Even when you're angry, know how to express yourself or hold yourself. Let's learn to control yourselves. All I can say to you is, have a great, blessed weekend. It was nice talking to you, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you. May God protect your children. May God protect your families. May God protect your marriages. May you live longer together. May your children be protected. I thank you. Again, I'm your girl, Jean Kiriteng Chirenje Kobole. Topic for next week will be addressed during the course of the week. I love you very much. Have a great weekend.